Hello darlings, today I'm here with another video. We are talking newly released things and products that I am loving. I'm using the term new here rather loosely. In Australia sometimes we receive things a little bit later on, but also I'm absolutely useless, and that is a contributing factor. We've got some new skincare, some berry eyeshadow goodness, and some really pretty sparkly top coats. I feel so fortunate to be working with By Terry again in this video. You guys, this is like bucket list dreams for me. It's so surreal and I could cry, but I'm really trying not to because I really like my makeup. I have a whole pot of tea, English breakfast, the best, absolute necessity. Let's start with a little bit of skincare, shall we? Clinique recently released the dramatically different Hydrating jelly. And this is ideal for combating dehydration. So whether you are oily, dry, combination, whatever your skin type, we can all experience dehydration. It's one of my primary skincare concerns, and this stuff has my skin sorted. It's actually not terribly dissimilar to my holy grail, Dr. Spiller Fresh and Fruit Moisturising Mask. They're both jellies, so they both have that sort of jelly consistency that's really great at quenching dehydrated skin. But the Dr. Spiller has an enzyme, whereas the Clinique doesn't have enzymes. So I kind of alternate the two so that I don't accidentally over exfoliate my skin. Loving that combo. My skin, I don't think, has ever been so good. Touch wood. Also, I should mention, I got a few questions whether I use this alone or in addition to another moisturizer, and no, I'm using it alone. And my skin is actually pretty damn dry, so that's been sufficient by itself. Everything By Terry releases is so luxe and decadent and swoon-worthy, and their newest release, the Nude Expert Duo Stick, is no exception. If you look at this product head on, you can see that half of the stick is a foundation stick with coverage, and the other half is this really refined luminizer. So when you use this all over, you get that, it does impart that sort of soft all over glow. This formula is among my favorite formula categories, which is smoothing. You guys know I love me a smoothing foundation. It kind of feels a little bit like a primer between your fingertips. So it really blurs pores and it gives that soft focus effect that I love, and it blends effortlessly. This is the kind of product that I would use on, say, like a Saturday or in the back of an Uber when I'm running late. You just sort of swipe it on and blend it out with your fingers. It's super easy. The first time I tried this, it looked super sheer going on, but by the time I finished my makeup, I realized that my redness was almost entirely concealed. So don't be deceived. It looks super sheer going on, but it actually has a surprising amount of coverage. I would say a sheer to a medium plus. I also love this formula as a cream bronzer because products with that silicone slip just blend so seamlessly. So I've used a darker shade today just to add some little bit of a color and dimension around the perimeters of my face. I often skip powder with this foundation because it does set on the skin and it's not at all tacky, but if it's a particularly humid day, which we've had recently in Sydney, or if I'm going to Pilates, or perhaps if you have an oilier skin type, you might want to dust a little of the Hyaluronic Hydra powder over that duo stick. This powder is stunning. I've spoken about it in the past. It's got that really airy silica formulation, so it looks absolutely invisible on the skin. I don't know how it works. It's some sort of sorcery. These two are a match made in heaven. Together, it's like the perfect no makeup kind of look. Like really polished and perfected, but also I woke up like this, you know? All right, let's move on to the eyes, and I have a little bit of a backstory behind this product. So, for the longest time, I've been searching for the perfect tinted eye primer, and yes, there are many on the market, but for some reason, a lot of these tinted eye primers made my eyelid look quite dry and crepey, and dare I say cakey, and that's not the kind of texture that I want in my life. So I have been for a while using the Tarte Shape Tape on my eyelids before going in with eyeshadow, and I liked it okay. I sometimes feel like the coverage is so much that it kind of erases my features. Like, where is my socket? It just felt like it was blanking me out too much or something. So anyway, the moral of this story is I have finally found my perfect tinted eye primer, and it's part of the new NARS Tinted Smudge Proof eyeshadow base. I use the shade Light, but there is another 3 shades, medium, medium dark, and dark. It gives you just like a touch of coverage, enough to camouflage my veiny eyelids, but not so much that I'm completely erasing my features. It does not look dry and cakey, and obviously the NARS Pro Prime Smudge Proof Eye Base is a brilliant eyeshadow primer in itself. My eyeshadows adhere really well to it, and they last all day. So I have absolutely no complaints. High five, NARS. Woohoo! So many of you guys have been DMing me asking me to feature the new Charlotte Tilbury Stars in Your Eyes palette, and I'm so glad you asked, because I've been using this product for about a month and I've decided that this is the love of my life and we shall live happily ever after. What was that I hear you say? Could you be a little bit more descriptive? Why, yes. Yes, I can. I am nothing if not thorough. So let's do a little bit of a battle of the eyeshadow palettes and compare it to the original Charlotte Tilbury Instant Eye Palette. Can you do this? Can you YouTube, Karima? All right, so really quick rundown. I actually prefer the color scheme of the original Charlotte Tilbury Instant Eye Palette. It's just that little bit more neutral, whereas the new Stars in Your Eyes palette is definitely warm. There is no two ways about it. If you don't love your warm tones, you will not enjoy this. But if you do like your warm tones, you'll probably love it. The Instant Eye palette had very mixed reviews, and I feel as though the Charlotte Tilbury team really took on that feedback and implemented it, because this formula of the Stars in Your Eyes palette is so much better, staggeringly so. From my very first application, like, it caught me off guard. I was like, oh, I see what's going on here. It's so rich and buttery and creamy, and all the words that we would want to hear when talking about an eyeshadow that is at this obscene price point. People are also comparing this to the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette, so let's do that. So the Naked Cherry is definitely more of a genuine berry tone palette, whereas when you compare it to the Charlotte Tilbury is a little bit more of a warm tone palette with a berry twist, perhaps. Though I would say that the mattes are a little more creamy and rich in the Charlotte Tilbury palette. Every time I've used my Urban Decay Naked Cherry, my looks have come out quite soft, which is not a bad thing. If you're looking for a soft berry palette, there you go. But the Charlotte Tilbury always equates to a more punchy, more impactful eye, which is kind of a little bit more to my preference. So yeah, I think you get the gist. I'm kind of in love with this eyeshadow palette. I'm taking it home. It's going in my personal collection. It's limited edition, so if you want it, get on that real quick. I've always loved the concept of a sparkly top coat. In 2016, my yearly favorites video, I mentioned the Urban Decay Moondust eyeshadow in Interstellar, and I would just use this over any boring eyeshadow look to give it a little bit more wow factor. Since 2016, the concept of the sparkly top coat has exploded. There are so many options right now, but one new release that I am very much enjoying are the new Hourglass Scattered Light Glitter eyeshadows. Sometimes glittery products can feel quite crumbly and it makes them hard to work with, but the Hourglass eyeshadows, when you rub your finger in them, it feels emollient. So it's almost like a cream. So whenever my eye makeup is feeling a little bit boring or a little bit drab, I'll dab a little bit of this onto the ball of the eyelid just with a finger, and because that consistency is so creamy, it doesn't have any fallout. It's the easiest eye look ever. My favorite color is Aura, which, if you look closely, is so multifaceted and complex. It's got little purple glimmers and little lime glimmers and periwinkle. It's really beautifully done. I actually want to, I want to do a video all about my favorite sparkly top coats, because I've developed quite a collection. Look at this. So we've got the Hourglass. Some of the Chanel Illusion D'Ombres work really well as sparkly top coats. Mecca Cosmetica just released a beautiful set of creamy sparkly top coats. We've also got one by Beauty People, which is a more chunky glitter top coat. That's a Korean brand. I also have the Shine Fix Eyes, which is another Korean brand, stunning. And of course, my beloved Natasha Denona Chroma Crystal top coats. So yeah, clearly I'm excited about this, but if you would like to see a video about my favorite sparkly top coats, tell me in the comment section down below, and I shall do that for you. The Too Faced Peaches and Cream collection launched not too long ago in Australia, and I was so impressed with that collection. The quality was really consistently awesome across the board. But one of the products that made it into my very frequent rotation drawer is the Sweetie Pie bronzer. Well, first of all, it smells so good. Oh my God, like peaches. I have raved about this in a previous video, but I figured also fit into this video. My favorite thing about this bronzer is that it's super sheer, which in my opinion is a great thing because I have the tendency to black out and over apply bronzer, and then I've got this floating bronze head. So I don't have to be nervous using this one because you build that color very slowly. It has a really pretty finish as well. There are no obvious shimmer particles, but it's not a flat matte either. It's got this beautiful sort of sheeny quality. Love that. Okay, I've got a few lip color formulas. And when these landed on my desk, I love them so much they went straight into my handbag. So we've got the Marc Jacobs Lip Gloss Stick, particularly in the shade Preach, which is a peachy shade. You guys know I have a soft spot for peaches. So essentially this is a lip gloss, but in a stick form. And I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I'm far more inclined to reapply it when it's in a stick as opposed to a traditional lip gloss. So I'm actually finding that I'm reapplying that one throughout the day. It doesn't gunk up. It's got a really pretty shine. It's nourishing. Can't say enough good things about that. If you want a sheer, shiny lipstick formula that's a little bit more affordable, I have L'Oreal Colorie Shine in 657 Steal the Shine. This is a beautiful beige. My favorite way to wear this is with a big smoky eye because my lips are naturally quite pigmented, and this tones them down a bit and allows my eyes to steal the show, so to speak. And then also, for a matte lip color, just for a little bit of variety, I have been loving the Bobbi Brown Luxe Matte Lip Color, particularly in the shade Cheeky Peach, which is, OMG, like a vibrant coral. You know that color when you walk into a makeup store and you see that color and you're so gravitated towards it? For me, it's vibrant coral. I see that color across the store. I'm just drawn to it like a magnet. I purchase them all and then I hoard them. But they're not the same. They're similar. I need them all. This is an interesting lip formula. I almost want to say that it reminds me of a powder lip formula. And I mean that in a good way. It's so lightweight, it's light as air. And oftentimes with really vibrant corals like this one, they will dull throughout the day as the product wears off, but this one remains really vibrant. I'm very happy with this new coral. Last product that I want to mention is a fragrance. This is definitely not a new release. I'm useless, but I really wanted to show you guys this. I purchased Isle of Man in Queenstown. And that wasn't that long ago. I have made a serious dent in this fragrance. I am wearing it every single day. So it's actually a men's fragrance, and I think it is best described as a salty citrus. So it's kind of like oceanside, sexy man. And apparently that's what I want to smell like every day. I have been stopped by so many people saying, whatever you're wearing is incredible. Please tell me what it is. I'm going to go buy it now. So I'm selling them left, right, and center. I should be on the payroll. Frappin? Frappin? I think that's what, Frappin. Anyway, Frappin, call me. I think that's everything. What are some newly released products that you guys are loving or that you really want to try? I am so intrigued by the Dyson Airwrap. I've been watching so many reviews. If any of you guys have tried that, tell me what you think in the comment section down below. Also, if you would like to see PR unboxings from me or bi-weekly giveaways or just more of this mug, all of that is on Instagram at Karima McKimmie. Come say hello to me there. I hope you are having a wonderful day, whatever it is you're up to, and I shall speak to you all very soon. Bye. Bye-bye.